What's up, Dual Coast fans? Tuesday morning, July 1st. We are joined by a very special guest this morning, Lancelot Theobald Jr. Lance, thank you so much for being with us this morning. And as always, Russ, how are we feeling over there?
I wish I could say that today was Lancelot's first podcast of the day, but it's not. We are number 2 today.
Yes.
It's only 8:30 in the morning on the East Coast, and this guy is rise and shine, looking dapper, looking sharp. I will say you're number 2 though. Even though we're number 2, you're number 2 because of these threads right here that I'm wearing just for you, Lancelot.
Yes.
You know, I Yeah, I just for all the listeners and stuff like that, going back just a couple of months ago, it's hard to believe it's only now going on 3 months, but just a few months ago, I went in feeling very, very good about myself. I'm wearing a pink jacket, going in to speak at the A to B conference, and the lady comes up to me and says, "Okay, you're going to be at table 12." She points in the back corner, and I look back there, and I see the back of a gentleman who at that time I didn't know was Lancelot. And I looked over in the back corner of the room, and this guy's wearing a pink suit, and I'm looking down at my jacket, and I'm like, no way. I should be standalone here today wearing pink, but the guy that I'm going to be sitting at the table. So, of course, I walked up to him and sat right next to Lancelot. And I'll tell you, we had a great day around that table. Lancelot, you are a brother forever, my friend.
Right.
You are. And, that day, Dan was there, Dylan was there, Will was there. We had the greatest time in the back left corner of that room.
That's right.
So I went in with proudly wearing my pink jacket and sat next to a man named Lancelot wearing a pink suit, and he had red glasses. I went up on the stage and I had my glasses stuffed down in my jacket. And so I told everybody to look back at Lancelot, giving him a lot of credit, only to slip on my red glasses because he was wearing some very bold red glasses. So we were looking dapper together.
Pink and red, yes.
So I thought, man, you know what? Today I'm bringing back the pink jacket, the red glasses, and in honor of our guest today on Dual Coast, Lancelot Theobald Jr., welcome.
Yo, it is my honor, man. And just to piggyback on what you said, that was my first conference, being surrounded around like-minded people. And it was such an experience for me. That day, that table in particular, you guys, we just had such a blast. And it was like we knew each other for years.
Yes.
And I realized that I need to be around more people like this, because you get tired of being around people that are taken from you, as opposed to you get into a room where it's nothing but energy. People that are looking like-minded people, coaches, motivators, inspirational speakers, all there not to get something, but to give something to one another. Yeah. And that was such a powerful thing. You and I have kept in contact ever since. I follow you. I like whatever you're doing. You're out there motivating the masses, not just talking about it, but being about it. And that's much respect, brother. Much respect, man.
Thank you,
and continued success, because you inspired me to do what I do.
Oh, thank you so much. I just had a blank moment there. Are you on our show or am I on your show? Okay. Oh, this is great, man. I'll tell you. Yes, we have. I've been on your podcast. We've had communication along the way. I love what you're doing as well. Lancelot Theobald Jr. is a star athlete. And I say star athlete because this man is fit. He looks great. He has played throughout the years, played sports. He is an author. He is a podcaster. He is a movie actor. I don't know exactly six films that you've been in. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's 8 at this point. 8
okay.
Films and 1 television show as well.
Whew. Yes. Man, can't stay by. Oculus, Halo 3. Yes, right?
The
veteran.
The veteran, security guard.
Yes.
Eddie. The first one I did was the Pyramid, and it's just Brooklyn Bound. It's just a host of them. I can't remember everything.
You can't even stay up with them.
Yeah. It's been a few. It's been a few, man.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I've been blessed, and I'm getting more and more success as the years go on because I continue to study. I'm in class 3 days a week.
Wow.
Which
Impressive.
I have a great teacher, Sheikh Mohammed Bey, and I believe that as long as you can grow a little bit each day, then by the end of the year, I'm 37% better than I was the year before. And my job and what I feel, it's not about fanfare, it's not about being famous, it's about being excellent at your craft and allowing what you do to create the accolades. I'm not looking for fanfare. I'm not looking for the fame. I'm looking to show people through my actions that you can do and be anything at any state in your life. You just follow these guidelines.
Yes.
Have the courage to be consistent and study your craft, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the way that Lancelot is talking right now is exactly the same man that I met around that table at A to B conference.
Yeah.
Because he is a humble man and he is doing a lot and he is impacting people all around the globe. He is through most importantly, character. Character is what stood out and what stands out today about Lancelot. And so, anybody that goes in and does movie and theater, yeah, your head can get bigger, you're feeling more proud and, all of these kinds of things. This man is a humble man. And I am so glad that I know you as a friend and going to get to know you even better over the years to come. I'm impressed by the fact that you're studying 3 days a week with the classes to become better and to improve your game, man. That says a lot, So I would love to dive in a little bit here, Lancelot, this morning on this July 1 day. I hear that on the East Coast, you guys are getting ready to get slammed with some severe weather, coming your way. But today I want you to slam us with all the good stuff that you have about absolute fusion. Absolute fusion, man. It's fitness. Tell us what absolute fusion fitness is all about and what your goal is with this.
Okay, well, originally Absolute Fusion was I am also a professional dancer. Went back to school as an adult and trained in dance and ballet, modern, jazz, African, and tap. I'm actually the first professional athlete to go back to school as an adult and become a professional dancer. What I didn't realize coming up was that dancers are incredible athletes.
Oh, yeah.
They train differently. So I took what I learned from dance. I took my athletic prowess. I took the fact that I'm a licensed, certified personal trainer, and I combined them. And I created this thing called Absolute Fusion, where I was really merging the dance training with the sports training. I'm very much into flexibility, dynamic and static flexibility. I'm into balance. I'm into explosive power, and I'm into agility. Now, lately, I would say in the last 10 years, you have more athletes training like that. But when I first started, they were not training like that.
Sure.
And so now I am what they call a sports enhancement specialist, and I take that and I travel to different countries, and I teach their athletes. In fact, in August, the beginning of August, I'm going to Trinidad with an incredible basketball coach, a legendary basketball coach by the name of Dwayne Mitchell. And we're going out there to help their athletes level up because basketball is becoming an international sport. But they must know what it takes in order to be that athlete that's going to play Division I or II or III basketball. And one of the things is not just basketball, but understanding what it takes to be just in terms of your fitness, how to work out, how to train, how to get more explosive, how to create more balance. These are all things that these athletes don't talk about, but they're working. And we want to let these countries understand that this is how you create yourself as an athlete that can compete on that level.
Sure.
Amazing.
So that's one of the things I do. And it's such a blessing to be able to affect the lives of these people who are not as fortunate as we are. You're talking about people that don't have indoor courts.
Sure.
They don't have indoor courts to play on. They're playing on concrete.
Yeah.
In weather that's like 80, 90 degrees year round.
Right.
But the appreciation for what we bring to them, I fell in love. In the first year, I just boo-hoo cried because these kids just appreciated it so much. It's nothing like that.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
Now you're going to raise the bar for me if you can tell me that you do this. Can you moonwalk?
Come on, of course.
That's
the other thing. You got to remember, I'm a hip hop instructor. That's the other thing I do.
Oh my goodness!
That I don't really talk about is I'm a hip hop and tap dancer. I'm a master tap dancer.
Yeah.
But I teach hip hop, moonwalking. I've been teaching that for years.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, you left that out of A to B, man. I didn't get any lessons. I should have got lessons.
It's funny because I've done, and I don't mean to brag. I do so many things that I don't even talk about the fact that I teach dance twice a week. You know what I mean? I don't even talk about that because it's I forget half the time, because I just do so many different things. But yeah, I teach moonwalking, popping, locking, crumping, footwork, all that stuff. I'm a master at.
Russ,
Dan wants to learn how to pop.
He beat me to it.
Oh, you really?
Russ,
I knew it.
Russ,
I knew he was going there.
How to do that?
Boom.
Boom.
I didn't give you a jab there, Dan. I came in with the right.
That was straight right cross. Straight right cross. So true. No,
Oh,
but that's amazing, Lance. I didn't even know that. I didn't know you teach dance twice a week.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
yeah, he sleeps in that suit, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
He just sleeps in it. He pops up. He's ready to go because you see how busy he is.
I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. That's why I look like I've been up since I wake up 3:30, 4 o'clock every morning.
First
And
podcast.
I prepare myself. I have a preparation. I do 25 minutes. I listen to motivational videos. I listened to Kobe Bryant this morning. Then I do my affirmations, and then I go about my day because I find that in the morning is when I'm on my most alert. And so I work on things in the morning, and then I had that podcast today. Happened to be at 7 o'clock in the morning, but I'm up every day, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, great segue right there, Lance. So I'm a big believer in mindset, and you're a multifaceted guy, and a lot of people actually just jumped on to listening right now. So just real quick recap: Lance is multifaceted in a lot of things. He's a dancer, he's an athlete, he's an actor, he was a pro athlete, multifaceted on a lot of levels. Now, Lance, you kind of live in two high performance worlds. You live in the acting world and the health world simultaneously.
Yes.
How do you navigate those the mind shift sets between performance and presence? So you have this performance world that you go into, and then you have to be present with absolute fusion and the dance world. How do you navigate those mindset shifts back and forth between acting and being present in that world?
It's very difficult, and I'll tell you why. The mindset, in order to be an athlete, is you just work your ass off. You work harder than the next person. I'm a firm believer. I've never taken off more than 7 days in 30 years that I've trained.
Wow.
Never taken off 7 days. When I go in with an animalistic mindset until this day, because this is the only opportunity I have to keep that edge.
Sure.
So when I work out, I'm there to dominate, at least myself. You know what I mean? So I have a certain mindset when it comes to training and when I train other people. But as an actor, I have to shift a completely different mindset. And I had to learn that because it's not about how hard you work as an actor, because you can work as hard as you want and as long as you want. But if you don't understand the technique, and if you don't understand, it's about being real, it's about being honest in everything that you say, then for the first 10 years of acting, I was always overboard. I was acting. And when you're acting, that's not what you want. You want to look like you're not acting. It's about being as real as possible. So that's a different mindset. And it took me at least 10 to 15 years to understand that I can't force it. This is not about how hard I work. I was willing to study the script 15 hours a day, but it didn't matter because I was doing the same thing wrong. I had to understand that with acting, it's about technique. It's about making everything look simple. The simpler you make it look, the harder it is. When you watch Denzel and those guys who look like that, they're making you believe what it is that they're doing because they're being real. That takes exceptional work.
Yeah.
And it took me 20 years to figure it out. And in fact, I was a theater person first for 15 years, 15, 20 years. And my teacher now was always saying, Lance, you're honest, but you're working too hard. And after I said, Lance, how many times I'm supposed to tell you you're working? I said, I'm trying. He said, no, you got to do more than try. Because I keep telling you the same thing over and over again. Yeah. And my classmates would say, you don't get upset? I'm like, for what? Why am I getting that? He's trying to get me to the promised land. I need to do more. I need to work harder. You know what I mean? And not work harder, but understand that it's about being real. So to answer your question, that mindset shift is very difficult because you can't take the mindset as an athlete and bring that mindset into being an artist. Those are two completely different things. I have learned and I'm starting to master because I have put the work in. I am still going to class 3 days a week, and I'm still sometimes getting that same note. Lance, you got to bring it down a little bit. But it's what I'm getting better and better. And next year I'll be 37% better than I'm this year because each day I get a little bit better. So to answer your question is very difficult, but I do it.
Let's go.
He talks about being animalistic in the weight room.
Like that.
Yes, that is a great word. He is Lancelot, as I said earlier, he is a very humble person. Very humble. But he is intense.
Yeah.
And he is intent about what he does. And so I love the word that you associate yourself with as the master, being a master at what you do, right? We can all master something, but it's going to take a lot of dedication and work, intentionality to get and to become a master of something.
Yeah.
What would you say with today's kids is one of the most difficult challenges for them in you relating what it is to become a master at something and dedicating themselves to the art of becoming physically or mentally better?
The biggest problem, the biggest issue is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
They say it takes 10,000 hours to master something. Are you willing to at least put that in? 10,000 hours would be like doing a full-time job because I looked it up. A full-time job, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. You can master something in 3.5 years, approximately. Are you willing to put that kind of time and effort? The problem with the kids today is everything is like microwave. It happens quickly. Yes. And if you can't get it quickly, you give up.
Yep.
You have to have the courage to be consistent.
Yep.
And then being consistent, what is your intent? Because I used to say it's about consistency, but then I got to add a little more. You have to be consistent with the intent to be great at whatever it is that you're trying to do. That's a little different because people can show up and be consistent and have the courage to be consistent. But then when they show up, their intention is not to grasp everything out of the moment and be the best that you could possibly be. It's not just about showing up. It's about the intention.
Yeah.
Every time I show up in this room, I'm giving you my best, and I'm trying to level up just a little bit more. As long as I can just be a little bit better than before I came into this class, then I've done my job. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
like I said earlier, you get a little bit better, and by the end of the year, you're 37% better than you were the year before. And that's all I can ask for. But with the kids, because it's about the Instagram and everybody's watching everybody else, nobody wants to put that real work in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's no easy way. I wrote a book, and it's right here. You might not be able to see it, but they haven't made an axe that could chop down a dream. 5 keys to reinvention. I'll tell you what the keys are. Key number 1 is you must understand that you are all you need to get everything that you want in your life. Rule number 2 is you have to surround yourself by mentors and people that have done what you've done because they know the formula already.
Yeah.
Rule number 3 is you got to educate yourself fully. You got to educate yourself for whatever it is that you want. You have to understand and know exactly the information you need in order to be the best that you can be. Number 4, you must have relentless work ethic, meaning you got to be willing to put those 10,000 hours in. That's the most important thing. And then 5, you have to believe that you can achieve. If you can follow those guidelines, then there's not a thing that you can't do.
That's right.
That will bring that mindset to wherever you want to go. But the key with these young kids now is to make them understand that there's no easy way. This is the microwave society we're in. No, you're going to have to put that work in, and you're going to have to be consistent.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love that. For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, I feel like the easy way out is kind of the naturalistic way to go now. Everybody looks for the easy way out. Nobody wants to put the work in. It's just absolutely.
And it's not their fault. It's not a lot. It's because of what they're seeing.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah,
it's what they're seeing. It's that they got the phone. You can get all this information on the phone. They're always looking at somebody else doing great things, but they don't understand that how they got there, or if this is real. Because a lot of this stuff is just a facade.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And everybody I always hate the phrase when people say "must be nice." When everybody, but nobody knows what went into that "must be nice."
Yeah.
Nobody knows the work that went into that. And, I'm a big fan of listening to Rob Bailey. If you guys know who Rob Bailey is, flag nor fail. And he always makes the joke saying, "Yeah, it must be nice," but they didn't see the hours that it went into building this business, this time, this the effort that went in, the sleepless nights. It's just funny how you say that because I think about that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Lance, as far as let's go back to the fitness aspect real quick of things. So, you kind of developed this whole idea going back from athletics into a dance world, and you went back to dance school and became a professional dancer. In terms of just have you ever had to redefine what fitness means to you during setbacks or transitions or transformations? You ever had to redefine it for yourself?
Oh man, that's an excellent question. and it's why I am the person I am today. And I'll tell you a little story.
Sure.
I had the thing that meant the most to me stripped from me, from a coach who I entrusted, who tried to ruin my life and take the one thing that meant everything to me. I got a new coach after starting, and I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible. He came in, and him and I clashed. 2 big personalities. I was the man on campus, and he came in as the youngest head coach in Division I history at the time. And first practice I missed because I overslept. Second practice, I wound up getting food poisoning. Making a long story short, he kicked me off the team, took my scholarship, and told me I was done.
Wow.
I decided that I was going to fight. I sat in that room for 2 days. I came back out that second day. I said, I'm going to fight for my scholarship. I went back to that school. I said, he can't do that. I have a doctor's note. So they had to give me my scholarship back. So when I got my scholarship back, he said, okay, now you have to come in as a walk-on. Now, if you know anything about what a walk-on is, I have to come in after 3 years as a new jack.
Yeah.
He not only made me come in as a walk-on, he gave my number to a freshman who he started over me. So he did everything mentally, like break me.
Break you.
I went home and I worked out not 3 hours a day. I worked out 7 hours a day because I knew that the only way I was going to get an opportunity to possibly play is I had to be twice as good as everybody else. I knew that at 20 years old. I went home and I literally worked out 7 hours a day. I looked up what they call plyometrics, which back then nobody was really doing.
Right.
And I started jumping hurdles. I started using bands. I was doing anything, jumping over cars, pushing trucks. I was doing anything I could do to get that edge. When I came back, I was in the best shape of my life. He tried to he blackballed me because he started a freshman over. Every time I would get in, he would pull me out. But I believe in universal energy. Second to last game of the season, the freshman got hurt. Now they were relying on me. They put me in. The first time I got the ball, I ran for a 67-yard touchdown. I got 3 touchdowns and 187 yards. The next week, we beat nationally ranked Delaware, who had Rich Gannon, who's damn near a Hall of Fame quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. We beat them with 14 seconds yet left. I scored the winning touchdown and 183 yards. What that showed me is that I can do anything in this world I wanted. And if I put the time and the effort and believed. So anything I do, including sports, I'm going to do it at the best of my ability. And if you're better than me, fine. I'm going to find out what you're doing and I'm going to work a little harder. That's my mindset. And that comes from the things that hurt me the most. I used it as fuel to ignite the full potential that was locked inside of me. Everybody can do it. You got to let the things that hurt you make you more aware of what's going on around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
make you aware that everything that you do has consequences. You know what I mean? And everything that you do should be building you towards something greater. You're building to call greatness. And that is my mindset. And that's how I built that mindset, through struggle and through pain.
Wow.
Wow. Powerful.
Loving it.
Powerful.
This is great stuff.
Yeah.
You know, when I sat at that table A to B conference between you, Lancelot, and Will, I don't know who was more intense. I would get this from Lancelot. I'd get this from Will. I'm like, my head is going back and forth. You know, it's like, how do these guys operate together? Will is the producer of these movies. Lancelot is the actor in the movies, and everything out of their mouth was gold. Like, it's genuine gold, just like that helmet behind you. And the thing about it is like, it's so moving. Like, I was so touched that day. I will never forget that day. I really won't. I mean, set aside the fact that we both wore pink, but everything that came out of your mouth, everything that came out of Will was intense. It was powerful. It was humble. It was energetic. And that same intensity and that same passion is coming out of you today. And I know that's who you are, and you are real. You know, one of the things that when I was in college playing baseball, my coach said the 5 most important words is to surround yourself with good people. Now, be it 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, 4, 5, whatever it is, Lancelot, share with listeners today a word, 2 words, whatever it is, that will impact their lives, be it if they're training, if they're in a mindset mode, if they're wanting to be challenged, whatever it is where they are right now. Tell us your word or words that get you through every day.
Surround yourself around good people. What they call that? I second that. Yes.
Okay.
And speaking of Will, I've learned a lot from him. and that's surrounding yourself around good people.
Yeah.
I'm always a go-getter, but I have never, and I repeat, never seen anybody with the work ethic of this man, Wilfred LaSalle. I have never, and we started talking, and you know, we vibed, and he would send me notes early in the morning. Now, you know, I used to get up normal hours. The last 2 years is when I started getting up at 3, 4, and 5 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because I asked Will, I said, what time do you get up in the morning? He said, I get up 4 o'clock every morning. I give out 1,000 emails a day, and then I get my day started. This is how he's gotten on all of these television stations. It's taken him through 2 and 3 years to get, but all of a sudden now it's happening for him. So what that showed me is I need to work harder.
Yeah.
I need to adapt. This is why it's important to surround yourself around people that are doing what you're doing. Surround yourself around positive people, collaborators, powerful people, because they will rub off on you. Promise you, he rubbed off on me. 3 things that I do now. I get up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, every morning. I now listen. He started sending me motivational videos. I now listen to my own motivational videos. What's the other thing? And I wake up. Oh, and I do affirmations. I do affirmations every morning. He does a visualization board. He does a gratitude journal, and he writes everything he wants for the year on top of a board that he looks at every day. And this year, every single thing that he wanted, he hit. I said, well, hell, shit, if he could do it, I'm doing that. Because he's showing me.
Yes.
Somebody's showing you how. And damn sure, I do every morning. I wake up and I'm grateful. I'd say I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. I do my affirmations and I do my motivational speech. And I'm telling you, it has made a difference. It has made me tunnel vision. And because of him, I've been able to meet people like yourself. You know, this is not a coincidence that we've met each other.
Absolutely not.
I went in the room with the intention to meet as many interesting and powerful people as possible.
Sure. And
universe sat us at the same table. That's not a coincidence. That's the universe. Who many people got a pink coat and the red glasses? That doesn't just happen.
Very true.
That's the universe putting us all together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in that. And so yes. I done went off in a tangent and forgot the damn question.
That's okay. You answered it.
That was
Surround
great.
yourself with good people.
Okay.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure,
No, I think speaking of Will, the producer, after I got off the stage, what's that?
And producer, writer also, and director.
Writer also. He does it all.
Incredible. Yes.
He told me that day at the table that about the number of emails that he sends out every day, be it whatever it is, and it's unbelievable. And so the intensity and the intentionality that came out of Will, I believe it. And what you're saying is affirmation. And that is a dude that, he said so many great things to me that day that meant so much. And actually in a meeting last week, I shared some of those same thoughts that he shared with me with a group of people last week. So surrounding yourself with good people is huge. And I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for Will. And I'm so excited to see what's going to transpond from this new latest movie in 2026.
Yeah.
Yes. We had talked about this earlier, July 20th, and I'm inviting you both to. It's about bringing people together. It's about bringing powerful collaborators and doers and putting them in the same room, not to get anything from anybody, but to give to one another. It's about networking. It's about establishing relationships. And we're teaching the future leaders, we're giving them videos on how to meet and establish relationships, because people don't know unless you teach them and tell them. In order to be surround yourself around greatness.
Yeah.
And don't try to get from somebody, give. And when you're in a room with powerful people, they're giving through their energy. And you can't help but be successful and have things rub off on you if you're around those people that are doing dynamic things.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great, man.
Great share. Great share.
Thank you. Thank you.
Backs you up, doesn't he?
Yes.
Lance, over the next, let's just say 10 years, what does the next 10 years look like for you? Where do you see yourself growing the most, personally, professionally? What does the next 10 years look like to you? Where do you want to be?
Oh man, I just got goosebumps. I'm going to be traveling this world and showing people from all over this world who will listen that your past does not dictate your future, and that your real power and your happiness is in reinventing yourself at any stage and age in your life. You already have greatness that is locked inside of you. God or whoever you believe in has already given you everything you need inside of you. It is now time for you to unlock that greatness. And for me, that's what I'm trying to tell the world. In the next 10 years, I should be traveling to Africa, Istanbul, to California. My job and my goal and my purpose in life since I was 17 years old has always been to be a positive energy and light to people all over the world. And it was up to me to figure out what that platform is. I have now found out what the platform is, and that's the power of reinvention. And I'll share this with you. When you find your purpose, that's an incredible. Most people never understand their purpose. I was blessed with finding my purpose at a young age, at 17 years old. I think I mentioned earlier, I was in a plane crash. I was in a train accident, then a car crash on graduation day, and then I almost drowned. Had a friend of mine drown right in front of me. And then within the next 2 years, I lost the most important thing that meant everything to me as a football player. What that told me was that God was on my side, because I came through all of that. He had his hand on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So I knew that I needed to be a positive light and energy to people around the world, because that came to me as a dream. And so I am doing that. And all roads have led me to this point, talking to you guys, having that podcast earlier. And it's leading me to traveling and spreading the word like I'm a messenger. I'm a messenger from God, that your real power and your real joy is in reinventing of yourself. It's in capitalizing on all the things that you already have deep down inside. It's just about realizing them. And that's what I'll be doing in the next 10 years. And that's the legacy that I'll be leaving behind. And you guys are all a part of it. Because again, there's no coincidences. Somewhere down the line, we will collaborate and we will change people's lives together. I promise you that. Yeah. I promise you that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. There are people who are listening today, right now, live. There are people that are going to click on this podcast in a month or two. There's people that are going to find this podcast in a year or 2 years from now. Yeah. And I want you to, for a moment, I want you to share something that is going to encourage the listener today, be it in mindset, be it in their physical presence of where they are, knowing that somebody today, tomorrow, next year is going to hear this podcast. And I want you to speak to them right now. And I want you to say a positive word to them that is going to challenge them for the days ahead.
I would say, I challenge you to change your mindset. Mindset is everything. engine. I mean, it's the fuel that sparks the engine, but it starts with the fuel first. You must understand that your mindset is what gets in your way. A lot of people want to do things, but they feel stuck. That's your mindset.
Yeah.
You must understand that the world has dealt us a lot of negativity over the years. And the first thing we have to do is reconstruct the mindset. I coach people on affirmations. I say start with affirmations. Affirmations are positive words or phrases that we say to ourselves on a regular basis. Words dictate your thoughts. Thoughts dictate your actions. And actions dictate your life. So you must first start by words. Telling yourself, you are good. You are great. You are smart enough. A lot of the things that we have told ourselves over the years are not true. You're not smart enough. You're too late. You're too fat. You're not pretty enough. All of that's bullshit. All right. People have told you that, or you have somehow believed that when it's not true. So start with the affirmations. If you have to look up affirmations, look them up. One of my affirmations that I say every day, that I said this morning at 4 o'clock, is this: I attract opportunities, I find solutions, and I create my own success. I said that 10 times in the mirror to myself, and I believe it with all my heart. I'm saying to each and every one of you that's listening out there, you can tell yourself the same thing. You know, you have to understand words. Words, affirmations can change the neural pathways of the brain. You can literally talk yourself into being great. Every athlete, I promise you, years before they hit the winning shot, they've been telling themselves that they're the man and hitting that winning shot over and over again. So by the time it actually happens, it is like secondary to them.
Yeah.
This is why it looks so easy, because they have told themselves. I promise you, Michael Jordan was not in the back saying, oh my God, I'm not good enough. No, he was saying, I'm the man. Ain't nobody can stop me.
Yeah.
Nobody.
At 18. At 18.
And he believed it.
Yes.
He believed it. So change that mindset. I promise you. Start today. Look up affirmations. You could say this one, although get enough, but this is mine. I attract opportunities, I find solutions, and I create my own success. Say it to yourself every day. You can do it. And then surround yourself around people. Find yourself a mentor in whatever it is that you love to do, and find something that you love to do. That's the other thing, because it'll never be work. I have not worked a day in my life. No, I have. I used to be a security guard, but I used to be a security guard at Madison Square Garden, so that was a lot of fun. But find the thing that you love to do, and then figure out how to master that. And once you figure out how to master it, I guarantee you can figure out a way to make money off of it.
Yeah.
But it's about doing what you love, because then it's never work.
That's right.
Then you don't mind getting up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't sleep, y'all. You have to understand, I don't use an alarm clock. I can't sleep. Many times I'm like worried, am I doing enough? Because the one thing I've realized is that I have more time behind me than I have in front of me. So I believe I have a legacy to build here. So therefore, I can't waste any time. Every day I wake up, every minute of the day has to take me forward. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's what I would say to the people out there listening.
Beautiful stated.
Love
Beautiful
that.
stated.
That was amazing. Amazing. Well, I think we're going to land the plane here, but this was an incredibly powerful episode. Lancelot Theobald Jr., thank you so much for joining us today. This was amazing. Guys, please check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all social media handles. Guys, again, thank you so much for listening today. Again, wellness is not about perfection, but about progress. Lancelot, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Lance. Appreciate it.
Opportunity, man. We got more to do, guys. We got more to do, but I appreciate
Absolutely.
this. Yes.
Thank you for being on here, my friend.
Being on. Amazing.
Good to see you.
You too, man.
Take care, guys. Thank you for listening.
You got it.